One of the myths, a cherished myth, is that somehow if people stand back from a place, we won't have any impact or effects on it. That's simply not true. Our mere presence alone alters the way all kinds of ecosystems interact, all the different parts move together. So we really can't pretend that we're not responsible by standing back. Seems to me that the policy objective and maybe the best set of values we could have would be to take responsibility for our presence and to try to make our presence as harmonious, productive, and sustainable as possible. Unfortunately for both the bear and for humans, bears and humans don't interact very well except under really limited circumstances. I guess my belief is that in parts of the American West where you have a very demanding predatory species like a grizzly bear, people ought to have the understanding that there will occasionally be interactions that aren't going to turn out so well for the people. When you go into that country, you should know that there are risks that you're going to encounter a bear doing what bears do, and manage responsibly for those risks. Try to minimize the risk that the interaction is going to be bad for you and bad for the bear. I mean, we've accomplished a lot in 35 years by preventing the extinction of the grizzly and the gray wolf here in North America, and I think we should pat ourselves on the back and say it's worked just as we hoped it would. If the populations reach a level where scientists and the people who live in these areas and the American people as a whole agree that perhaps they've become successful enough where some of the protections should be either removed or loosened up a little bit, then after a full and public debate, I'm for that. But it needs to involve everybody who's going to be affected by it, not just a handful of wildlife managers and a state fish and game agency, not just a handful of members of Congress from a couple of states, and not even just from the people who live in those states, since the resources are owned really by everyone.